Everyone, this is Carrie Scomp calling from the very rainy and cold and kind of miserable Traverse City office, but it will turn to snow, I've been told, later today. So we're just anticipating that. So all of you that had to deal with a little bit of bad roads this morning, thanks for being safe and getting into the offices today. And it is winter here in northern Michigan, so it's just something that we have to deal with. In Florida, try not to laugh too hard. So we are going to be talking about the Schmidt Community Fund today, which is the 501c3 that Ken and Mike Schmidt created late 2019. And we've really gained some momentum this year. It's been pretty fantastic to see. We have a new opportunity in order to raise funds for the Schmidt Community Fund as well. So we'll chat through that today as well. So as always, we will stay on mute, but if you have any questions, feel free to unmute. Go ahead, type it in the chat box, and we will be sure to get those answered. That is true. That is true. They mentioned that they did have tornado warnings there in Florida. So the snow doesn't look so bad when you're dealing with some of that stuff. So stay safe down there for sure. So be the change you want to see in the world. We can do this in a couple different ways. So let's talk about the Schmidt Community Fund real quick. If you're wanting to learn more, if you're new to the company, or if you're just not sure what the fund actually is, you can go to schmidtcommunityfund.org and learn all about it. Together, we can do more. And that is important because it is all hands on deck. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But you can kind of come here. You can learn more about what the fund does. You can go to About and see who we are. This kind of explains what the Schmidts are, what the Community Schmidt is for, and then it goes through the board of directors there. And then how to request funding. So there are some general guidelines here. The mission of the fund really is children and education in the communities in which we operate. So that really is the main focus of the Schmidt Community Fund. If you guys have a charity that you're working with and you're not sure if it fits the fund, feel free to reach out to me. We can talk through that and see if that is something that the fund could support. Now, there is a application that can be downloaded correctly right here. And the one spot on that form that trips a lot of people up is the spot that says matching donation. It doesn't have to be a dollar for dollar donation. The board of the fund just wants to make sure that you are vested into this charity, whatever it may be. So it could be that you volunteer your time there, or your agents volunteer their time. It could be that you raised funds in your office for a charity so that you want to match that. For example, the Traverse City offices here are raising funds for a sock drive for children through our Father Fred nonprofit here in town. So the agents will be raising money at their holiday party, and then they'll request the Schmidt Community Fund to match those funds. So sometimes it's a dollar for dollar match, but a lot of times it's just to make sure that you're vested through volunteer hours. Maybe you're on the board of that charity. Maybe you helped volunteer in the past at an event or something. So that's really what that matching is meant for. It doesn't necessarily need to be that you wrote a check and you're asking for matching funds. So again, if you have something close to your heart that you're vested in for children and education, don't hesitate to reach out and we'll see if it fits the guidelines of the fund. If you want to see what the fund has been able to support in the past, you can come right up here and where it says recipients. And you can see we run the gamut of our whole amazing company, all the way from Marquette, Michigan, down to our beautiful USVI operations. So you can see US Virgin Islands, Northwest Michigan, Hart, Traverse City, Cleveland, Ohio, lots in Michigan. Don't worry, Florida. There's Florida ones on here. Just got to get to them. Brevard County, Cadillac, Grand Rapids, just a lot of great places that we've been able to support. The Tag Museum in St. Augustine, Florida. Not everybody we've donated to has a photo, but a lot of them are on here. And then if you scroll all the way to the bottom of all this amazing content, you will see everybody that we've been able to. Now, this hasn't quite been updated through 2022, so we will be getting this updated. But since 2019, at the inception of this 501c3, you can see who we've been able to support. So pretty amazing things that have been happening. Now, let's recap 2022 and we'll talk about 2023 and some of the goals that we have for the fund. So in 2022, the fund donated out into our communities almost $150,000. That's huge, right? That's pretty impressive. Our staff are able to donate through payroll if they choose to. And if you're not donating today, but you would like to see what that looks like, just reach out to either Becky West in Florida or Michelle Mikulski in Michigan and Ohio, and they can help you set up that payroll deduction. At the end of the year, you do get your tax letter because it is a 501c3. So if you're interested in donating through your payroll, don't hesitate to reach out through your HR representatives. So the staff have donated through today $9,145, and our agents have the opportunity to donate through their closings. Some agents choose to donate $10 per closing. Some agents choose not to donate at all through closings, but they may write a check to the Schmidt Community Fund, or they just may not support it because they're supporting something else in their communities, and that's okay too. But we do ask that our agents, if they would like, do donate $10 through their closings. And through the end of November, because we track it on a monthly basis, we've received $63,031 from our agents. Pretty generous, pretty amazing donations from our agent base there. So total donations are $72,176. Now you may ask, how did we only bring in $72,000 but donated out $150,000? Couple different reasons. The Coast One Mortgage representatives have raised some money in order to support education in our Port Charlotte market that got hit by Hurricane Ian. So there was some donations that came through from Coast One Mortgage. Also, our amazing Holland region has a holiday fundraiser every year for places like Toys for Tots, backpack programs, foster children programs, and they raised over $40,000 this year alone. Those funds come to the Schmidt Community Fund, and then the Schmidt Community Fund gives them back out to those charities. Also, the Schmidts did donate $50,000 to start this fund. So we did have additional funds as well. So that's why the numbers don't maybe add up, but there's a lot of other donations outside of our staff and agents that came into the fund. So like I mentioned, don't hesitate to reach out. Now, the cadence of the board members is to meet the second Tuesday of every month. So we just met this past Tuesday. We actually approved through 7 different donations. So we were pretty excited to be able to do that, which means we won't meet again until January 10th. But if you have something that's timely, we know it's the holidays. We know there's food pantries. We know there's Toys for Tots. We know there's a lot of these things going on. If you have something, a request that's a little bit more timely than waiting until January 10th, just get it over. We'll see that we can't offline that and push that request through if it is a timely request. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. We really want to be able to support our communities. To that end, thanks to an agent out of our Paradise footprint, we have joined the Amazon Smiles program. This is a pretty amazing program that Amazon has done for quite a few years. And because it is a 501c3, we were able to sign up the Schmidt Community Fund. Not every product that you purchase on Amazon will have monies donated back, but if it is an eligible product, Amazon themselves donate to our fund. It's not dollars that we use out of our own pockets when purchasing on Amazon. Amazon as a company is donating these funds through. But in order to be able to do that for the fund, you do have to go directly to their link. That link can actually be found if we go back to schmidtcommunityfund.org and go back to the homepage. So I'm going to scroll to the top, go to the homepage. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see the Support Schmidt Community Fund link right here, Amazon Smile. You always want to launch Amazon through that link in order for your purchases to have Amazon donate directly to the Schmidt Community Fund. If you go through the Amazon app, or if you just go to Amazon.com, even if you previously have been here, that won't qualify. You have to launch through to this link. So go ahead and if you're an Amazon shopper, I am probably more than I need to be. My delivery man and I are best friends, but that's okay. But always want to launch through that. So if you are an Amazon user, go ahead and bookmark it. Like I said, if the product is eligible, the funds will directly be donated to the Schmidt Community Fund. It does pay out every quarter, so we won't really know until April kind of the dollars that we've been raising, but it's pretty exciting to think that we have over 2,000 people associated with our company. Conservatively, half of them probably are Amazon shoppers. So we really think that there's some dollars here that Amazon will donate back to us so that we can then get it out into our communities. So go ahead and always launch in through that link. That link does look like this. I'm sorry, it does not look like that. Let me go back into that link. I'm in somewhere else. There we go. So it'll always be smile.amazon.com. Now, if you have other charities in your life that are important to you, launch into smile.amazon.com. You can choose a different charity if you would like. Obviously, we would like it to go to Schmidt Community Fund, but we know there's a lot of different, very valuable charities out there. And these are dollars that Amazon wants to get out. So go to smile.amazon.com regardless. And if you would so choose, go in through our link and you will see that we are able to raise funds. It'll always tell you right here who you are supporting. So our company account for Amazon as of December has raised $1, but that's $1 we didn't have to give out in our communities. And as we have to our tagline, together we can do more, as everybody's starting to use this link, we will generate a lot more dollars. You can see that U.S. charities from Amazon, this is all charities, has earned over $400 million. Amazon is being very, very generous, and we just want some of that to be directed to the Schmidt Community Fund. So again, if you're looking for that link, if you go to schmidtcommunityfund.org, scroll down a little bit, you'll see that this is here as long as you launch into that link. If the product is eligible for the SMILE program, those dollars will be donated right over to the fund. And we're pretty excited to see how this works through Q1. And we'll be more than happy to give you an update on all the funds that were raised for the community fund through the SMILE program. So that's the update that I had for you guys today. We'll go back to this screen while we wait for any questions. Keep in mind, if you're not payroll deducting, but you would like to, spend $10 a payroll or $5 a payroll to the fund, just reach out to your HR representative, either Michelle or Becky, and they can help you get that set up. If your agents would like to donate and they're not, there is a form that can be found in your agent onboarding packets, whether .loop in Michigan and Ohio, at files there in Florida. So if they in the past opted out and want to opt back in, they can do so. Again, if they would like to write a check to Schmidt Community Fund, that can be mailed right here to the HQ and we can get those funds in. And again, we get the 501c3 tax letters out to anybody that's donated early in January so that they can use those for tax purposes too. Brenda, I'm not actually sure if there is a list or guideline on what products on Amazon are eligible, but there is a badge. So you're on that product, there will be a SMILE Amazon badge on that page that will tell you that it is eligible. But I don't necessarily know that there is a list or guideline, but I will look for one because that's a very good point. Good question. Who else? All right. Well, anybody that enjoyed that song, that was Carrie Underwood's new one called Stretchy Pants. I'm in love with it. I was cracking up in my car the other day, the first time I heard it. So if you were interested in it, Google it. I guarantee it's just a super fun holiday song. And her voice is amazing, of course. So that was Carrie Underwood and it's called Stretchy Pants, which I'm a fan of Stretchy Pants. So thank you guys so much for your time today. We will have BlueSync next week. It'll be our last one prior to the holidays. So we will be talking about some end of year security things that we can do to keep ourselves and our agents safe. So join us next week for that session. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe with tornadoes in Florida. Stay safe with the snow and ice here in Michigan and Ohio. I'm sure you're part of that. That whole line was going from, top to bottom. So everybody stay safe and have a super fantastic rest of your day. Thanks, everyone. Bye now.